At the bottom of the page, zoning docket 13818, City Council Motion M18453, requesting a text amendment to the comprehensive zoning ordinance to amend Article 14, Section 14.3.8.1, Site Design Standards, General Regulations, Table 14-2, Bulk and Yard Regulations for the S-LM Suburban Lake Area Marina District to increase the maximum building height from 60 feet to 65 feet citywide. The recommendation of the City Planning Commission being for approval.
Thank you. I'm going to move to approve. Can I get a second? Councilmember Nguyen, thank you. Mr. Kroll, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is a text amendment to the comprehensive zoning ordinance that would increase the maximum building height in the SLM Suburban Lake Area Marina District, and the increase would be from 60 feet to 65 feet. So that zoning district is applied to West End at Lake Pontchartrain, and the amendment is needed to facilitate the redevelopment of the area formerly known as Restaurant Row in West End, which was destroyed, of course, by Hurricane Katrina. And so this property has kind of a unique location on the parish boundary, and so this is really part of a cooperative effort with the Jefferson Parish government to standardize the zoning regulations at that site. And so the New Orleans side of the equation is increasing the height limit slightly by 5 feet to match the Jefferson Parish height limit. Jefferson Parish will modestly reduce their parking requirements to match those here in New Orleans. And so it's really to facilitate the redevelopment of the site. It also has the added benefit of allowing developers a little bit more height to deal with the base flood elevations that are very high at that location because it's outside of the levee protection system. So this makes a lot of sense, and the Planning Commission is fully supportive of this.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll. I have 2 comment cards, one from Cassandra Sharp, who I don't think is here any longer, and then one from Mr. Landish. Come forward, sir. You'll have 2 minutes. Says here you're representing Lakeshore neighbors and yourself. Is that on behalf of an association or just neighbors generally?
No, because this project was so rushed through, our board has not met since you introduced this thing back in.
Well, sir, this has been on here for 3 or 4 months at this point. So okay. I know you've used that characterization before, but that's just not the case.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my name's Ray Landish. I live at 7424 Canal Boulevard. I'm a board member of the Lakeshore Crime Board and the Property Owners Board. I'm a professional engineer. I'm a real estate investor. I'm not a developer, as I've been called. And I want to thank you guys for all your service because it's been a long day for all of us. I got to sit through that whole short-term rental thing. I'm here just to offer a little bit of free help based on my experience with 12 years of doing zoning and things in this city and being a professional engineer. I've studied in detail this lengthy report, 134 pages. On July 17th, the Regional Planning Commission did 134 pages of study, and I've studied all 134 pages, and I have a big issue here with rezoning 150 acres of a whole marina or a 4-acre site called Restaurant Row. If we want to just upzone the 4 acres for Restaurant Row, I don't think anyone has a problem with that. But when you start rezoning 150 acres, which abuts my neighborhood, I start to have a problem with that, and so does plenty of my neighbors. If you read the whole study, the study doesn't even recommend upzoning to 65 feet. It is silent on that. In fact, all 3 alternatives it shows are less than 60 feet height. So I don't understand why we think we need to go to 60 feet. 90% of the buildings shown in that study are in Jefferson Parish. I've been involved with many of the studies since 2006, and if you want to change the zoning, please limit it to the 4-acre site or within 150 feet of the parish line, not a half a mile to reach all the way to my neighborhood. So I'm just asking for some restraint here because this whole thing has been properly vetted through the Lake Area Zoning District in 2008. It was significantly vetted again
that's
in
your time, sir.
2015. I thought I was supposed to have 3 minutes.
2 minutes.
My card said 3 minutes, but thank you for your time. And
thank you.
Thank you for the emails, even though we disagree, and I hope we'll get a chance to meet and have a beer over this.
That sounds great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Go Saints.
Never just have one beer, for the record. Never just have one.
Mr. Kroll, do you want to address any of the concerns Mr. Landesh raised?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is that this is not a tremendously large adjustment. The speaker characterized it as a rezoning. It's not changing the zoning itself. It's not changing the uses or type of development that's allowed. What it does is it increases the allowable height by 5 feet, which is relatively minor in the scheme of things. The reason it's necessary, though, is that any development of West End is going to have to consider Jefferson Parish, and developers are going to have more difficulty working in a context where the zoning regulations don't align. And that has to do with parking, it has to do with height and other aspects of development. And so the city here is partnering with Jefferson Parish to create consistency. But in creating that consistency, we really don't think there's going to be a substantial impact. And then finally, I would say the speaker suggested the possibility of modifying just this 4-acre site. Zoning has to be consistent across the entirety of the area with the same zoning designation, and so while 4 acres of it is a subset, when you do the rule, you can pull out little pieces and carve outs. The zoning regulations have to be consistent.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll. I would also add, in addition to your comments, that this is the West End project that is joint between the state, the city, the parish of Jefferson. All 3 entities are aligned with requesting this change, so Orleans will comply with Jefferson Parish on this joint project. In addition to that, the administration supports this. The CP staff has indicated that the 5 feet is what should be done. The CPC voted in favor of it, and the near neighbors, who are the boat owners, have supported this increase as well. So with that, I would ask that we move to adopt. Please vote your machines. Six yeas, no nays, the motion carries. Thank you.
We're now on top of page